Max, it's very difficult to book a show on a Thursday when we normally book coaches whose teams are having a bye week.
Right.
Problem is, it's district play, and there's not a lot of bye weeks. Except we happen to strike gold this week because enjoying a bye week this week are the 7-2 Canyon Lake or 5-2 Canyon Lake Hawks. And here talk about his Hawks is the head coach of Canyon Lake. We are joined by Coach Charlie Drum. Coach, how are you?
Oh, doing good. How about yourself?
Excellent. How are things down there in beautiful Central Texas?
Oh, it's going good. We're kind of enjoying the bye week, kind of getting healthy and getting ready for a big game against Taylor the following week.
I want to ask you a little bit about that, about how you handle such an odd bye week. I think a lot of teams end up taking their bye week right before district play, get a little healthy for the run up through district into the playoffs. You guys being in the 5-team district in District 14 4A Division 1, you guys don't really have that luxury. Instead, you guys got to get it in Week 10. How are you guys handling this kind of, let's call it unusual bye week?
Well, it's more about survival. With the 2 scrimmages and 9 straight games, you just want to. Hopefully, you have a roster left by the time, especially our last 2 games against Bernie and Fredericksburg. But we made it through it, and hopefully, we'll get some guys healthy and get ready to go again next week. You
guys did make it through it. Those 2 games, you end up taking down both Bernie and Fredericksburg in consecutive weeks, which is pretty darn impressive. Entering kind of district play, I know that Bernie and Fredericksburg were at top of mind. When you entered district play, did you guys figure that you had a pretty darn good shot to take out those 2 squads along the way?
Yeah, I mean, we suffered through some injuries, some tough close losses to Wimberley and Giddings, who are very good football teams early. But we got healthy at the right time, to be honest with you, against Bernie. And that was really the first time our starting lineup had been intact since our opening game against Blanco. So it paid off, and, we're excited. Those are 2 very good ball clubs we beat. Either one of them could be playing for a district championship.
Yeah, they're very good squads, and you guys are already past them. Now you guys set your eyes on Taylor and what would be an outright district championship at that. How much would a district championship mean for you guys down there at Canyon Lake?
Well, it'd be huge. We've opened 10 years ago. We've been playing, varsity football for 9 years. We played for it last year against Taylor, and had a halftime lead, let it slip away against Taylor here at our house. So hopefully we can return the favor. But it'd be huge. In our school's history, volleyball's won 1 outright district championship, and we'd be the 2nd. So it'd be exciting for our community.
Oh, we're talking with Charlie Drum, the head coach of the Canyon Lake Hawks here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Coach, I want to ask you a little bit about your offense, because it's a bit of an odd situation. You entered and then after, I believe, your first year, you guys end up changing offensive schemes and going over to the slot T. What was the kind of idea behind moving there, and how have you seen maybe this program change since the shift in philosophy?
Well, it had a lot to do with personnel we had. Our strength, and still our strength of our team, is our offensive linemen. We didn't have a whole lot of skill kids back, 5 years ago when we switched. And it's taken a few years, These guys that are playing as seniors now, were introduced to the offense in middle school. And, our offensive line is the heart and soul of our team. So, and, with the slot T offense, it starts with the offensive line.
Yeah, and your offensive line has been grinding. It's been open up fantastic holes for 2 guys in particular, Tristan Chacon and Tanner Ferris. For Chacon, just a guy who's just a junior, already run for 717 yards and 13 touchdowns. Which, when you, I know that those numbers may not impress a lot of people, but when you spread the ball around as much as you guys do, that's a really impressive group of numbers. As the guy who gets to see your outstanding running back Tristan Chacon in practice every week, what sets him apart?
Oh, he's been huge for us this year, especially with the injury to our tailback Tanner Ferris. He stepped up in the middle of the year and was kind of our workhorse. The object of our offense is to spread the ball around between the fullback, tailback, and the halfback. Tristan playing that halfback had to be kind of the workhorse for the middle part of the schedule.
Yeah, and then the other guy in that offense that really stands out is your quarterback, Benjamin Fulton. Here's a guy who again, the numbers aren't necessarily overwhelming, but it seems like every time you ask Benjamin Fulton to do something for you guys, he comes through. It seems like he's got a knack for. He seems like he's got a knack for the moment. Am I right in that?
Yeah, he's a 3-year starter, and Ben does a great job. He takes care of the football. He's yet to throw an interception. Knock on wood. We don't throw the ball a whole lot, but when we do, it's been effective this year. I think he's has no interceptions. I think 11 or 12 touchdowns. So that's a great ratio, and he's a tremendous leader for us. Running the offense for the 3rd straight year. We're excited. Ben's a great kid.
We're talking with Charlie Drum, the head coach of the Canyon Lake Hawks here on Texas Football Today. Get involved in the conversation at #TF Today. Coach, I want to ask you now about your defense. I think last year your defense we would categorize as okay. It was okay, but you guys have made a big step forward on the defensive side and really been shutting people down, especially when you go up against high-powered offenses like Bernie and hold them to 21 points and then have your way really with Fredericksburg. What has been the difference defensively this year as opposed to maybe last year?
Just kind of the philosophy. Our coaching, we have a great coaching staff here, and we based out of the 4-3, the past 9 years, and we went to a 4-2-5 since our linebacker had to be out there the majority of the time facing so many spread teams. And also a big difference is we're plus 10 in the turnover margin. Mm-hmm. That's been we've been preaching that. The last couple of years we haven't been forcing turnovers, so that's been huge for us, and guys have been playing great.
And then I want to ask you a little bit about, I don't want to look too far ahead, but, enjoy your bye week. I want you to enjoy your bye week, right. Relax. But next week you guys do draw Taylor. Taylor's a squad that I think has surprised a lot of people there in District 14 and in that part of the state. I don't want to ask you to give away your game plan, but when you look at what you're facing against the Ducks next week, what are you seeing?
Well, they snuck up on people last year and won the district. Mm-hmm. Coach Purser always plays a tough non-district schedule. They make it through it, and then they're kind of hitting their stride, kind of like we are this year. But the huge thing is going to be takeaways. They strip the ball, they intercept the ball, they're leading the district in both categories. We're going to have to take care of the football and control the clock. They have some big playmakers. Their tailbacks leading the district in rushing. They have a big-time receiver. They got a quarterback who can run and pass. So our game plan, it's not going to be a secret. It's going to, win the turnover battle and keep their offense off the field with our offense controlling the clock.
And now I'm going to ask a coach a question that I know that he hates, and I already know the answer to it, but I'm going to ask him anyway. We're 2 weeks away from the playoffs. You guys have locked up a playoff spot. You guys will be matched up against the very treacherous District 13 4A Division I in bi-district round. The question is, have you given any thought to who you're playing or who you would prefer to play in the playoffs, or is that just too far away right now?
No, we're actually going to split up as a staff, tomorrow, and, we're going to scout Taylor, of course, and then go watch Gatesville, Waco, La Vega, China Spring, and Liberty Hill. We call it the SEC up there. That's a tough district. I mean, they're from 1 through 4. We've had to play them the last 3 years. But, we're going to play either Gatesville, China Spring, or Liberty Hill, and they kind of play each other the next 2 weeks. I think La Vega's on the fast track to win that district. So we're not going to play them, which is good. We've had to play them twice. We were lucky enough to beat them 3 years ago. But, yeah, we're going to be on the road tomorrow, watching some football in the press box.
Coach, I appreciate your candor. I think there's a lot of coaches who'd be like, "Oh no, we're just taking it one game at a time." I appreciate the fact that you've got your sights set a little bit farther, and you've got goals ahead of you.
Yeah, you got to be prepared. I hate talking about who we're going to play, but we got to be prepared because obviously we won't be able to see him in person next week when we're at Taylor playing that big ball game. He
is Charlie Drum. He is the head coach of the Canyon Lake Hawks, who will be gunning for their first district title next week against Taylor. Coach, really appreciate your time. Congratulations on all your success so far. Best of luck next week and the rest of the way.
All right. Appreciate it, Greg. Take care.
There he goes. Charlie Drum, head coach, Canyon Lake Hawks. They really, I think when they beat Bernie 2 weeks ago, that's when they really hopped up on everybody's radar. And then the next week to go beat Fredericksburg was like, okay, all right, okay, this team's got something going here. And look, Taylor's tough. Taylor's going to be, but first of all, Taylor's got to get past Fredericksburg themselves. This is a district that kind of eats itself alive.
Yeah.
And right now, there will be a team, so Fredericksburg and Eastside Memorial are both 0-2 in district. One of those teams is going to make the playoffs because it's a 5-team district. Now, I would consider Fredericksburg to be a pretty sizable, favorite against Eastside Memorial. But at the same time, this is a district that I think really, all due respect to our friends at Eastside Memorial, who are still kind of a program getting their legs underneath them, trying to figure out what exactly they are. This is a district that I think is really closely knit, and they all know each other pretty well, and that gives each other. It kind of ends up being a bit of a parity-laden district down there in District 14. So we appreciate Coach Charlie Drum hopping on with us here on a Thursday during his very odd Week 10 bye week.